this week we are chatting to my friend Mike,
Hi there.
who is one of our living room volunteers and has been almost from the beginning.
Yeah, I've been with the project for probably 2.5, 3 years, getting on for that sort of time period now.
Yeah, brilliant. Almost right from the beginning, which is really cool. And so we're just going to spend a few moments talking to Mike and how he feels about that. But do you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit about maybe your mental health.
Well, got a background in art and skateboarding.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I got diagnosed with mental health issues in my young adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, it was a real traumatic thing. Yeah, I had a time in hospital around the age of 21, and that was 4 months in hospital, and then a month out at Christmas, and then another 4 months in. That was quite a testing time. And I had electric shock treatment, which sounds severe, but it did actually help me. It's like a last resort treatment, but it did actually help me.
Yeah.
And I came out of hospital and moved into independent accommodation when I came out.
Yeah.
After that, I moved into a care home in Ryde, and at that point was when things started moving forwards for me.
Yeah.
So I started going to a day centre called Riblow Day Centre, and that was a brilliant day centre, and that was a special time.
Yeah.
And I was involved with a mental health training for work project there called Not Just Enterprises, and I used to do gardening. I was also involved with music groups and other bits and pieces. So that's some of my past with mental health journey.
Yeah.
The original diagnosis was schizophrenia and depression, but I had a readmittance to hospital in 2009 with a re-diagnosis that in some ways was less severe in the end, which was schizoaffective and bipolar.
Thank you for sharing that, being so honest and open about that. I'm just interested in how you got involved in working for the living room.
I'd known of yourself, Pete, for some time, and I think you've been hinting at making me aware of the project as you were preparing to set it up.
I may have done that, yes.
And I've always been wanting to do things voluntary or in the community to try and give something back and make a difference. And I was a little bit nervous about the thought of coming into the living room because I hadn't been involved with anything for a while, where I'd relapsed in 2009, and I was a bit reticent about going through application processes and things like that because I was nervous about forms and so forth. But I got a really good friend, Matt Redding, and we came into the cafe after it had already been set up. And I just went, wow, it's got a warm, friendly atmosphere, seems to be good vibes. I don't feel threatened. I actually feel it's quite a positive place. I think I could handle this. And that day, when I was thinking through these things, I just went, stuff it, I'm going to go for it. So spoke to Charlie, who's the cafe manager. She got me a form, filled it out, and went through the process and started. Now, initially, I only did a half day. I struggled even to do that, and I used to phone in and be going, I don't think I can make it, I don't think I can handle it, and all this kind of thing. But slowly, over a period of time, I built up endurance, I built up focus once again, and I built up to 1 day, 2 days, and then about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, there was a gentleman who was volunteering here who was doing 3 days and cycling in from Sandown.
Yeah.
And I had some really inspirational conversations with him, and that encouraged me to go for the 3 days doing voluntary. And I even cycled in a couple of times. I couldn't sustain it, the cycling, but I had a go and I cycled in a few times, and that was really boosting my self-esteem and my confidence and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to keep on pushing the goals forward. So at the beginning of the other year, I tried doing 4 days voluntary, just to see whether I could handle it, to see my endurance levels and what I could take. I lasted for the year doing that, but towards the end of the year I was getting a bit burnt out and went back to doing the 3 days.
Yeah.
But it's certainly really boosted my confidence. It's helped me with my self-esteem. It's given me friendships. It's given me a lot of purpose and meaning.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for taking this time. One of the things I love about the living room is just the amazing team of volunteers that we have from different backgrounds, different walks of life, that we can be a family to one another and support one another. And I feel like a lot of the people that help get a lot out of it.
Yeah, certainly do.
Them.
Yeah, I really love it. You know, it's like really brought so much positive things into my life.
Yeah, amazing. That's a good note to finish on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Nice.
Brilliant.